There have been a lot of very interesting rumors going viral about Europe travel recently, so in today's video, I am going to be fact-checking them just because, to be honest with you, most of them are either very misleading or completely untrue. In case you're new here, hi, I'm Christina from happytowander.com, and this channel is all about practical travel tips from someone who's been there, done that, so be sure to like and subscribe if that sounds like your kind of thing. Now, a huge pet peeve of mine as well is when people start to spread rumors or post information without verifying with an official source first. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing all the official links with you as well, so you can go straight to the source and find any updates you might need in regards to these rumors. Now let's start with rumor number one, which is that American and Canadian passport holders will now need a visa moving forward in order to visit Europe. This rumor is false. In fact, what it is an oversimplification of a new rule that is coming in, so let me explain. Basically, this rumor is based on the new European Travel Information and Authorization System, or ETIAS requirement, which is an idea that was first announced all the way back in 2016. Long story short, this requirement will make it mandatory for passport holders from 60 visa-exempt countries to sign up for a digital travel authorization in advance of their trip in order to enter these 30 European countries. But before you panic, the ETIAS is substantially less expensive and extensive than a conventional visa. According to this official website, most applications are actually going to be processed within minutes or at the latest 96 hours. It's also only going to cost you €7 with exemptions in place for people who are under 18 and also over the age of 70. Family members of EU citizens as well as certain non-EU nationals are also exempt. Plus, you don't even need to print it out. All you need to do is apply online, and supposedly airport staff, including the passport control officers and airline staff, will have access to your authorization through their system. So really all you need to do is go online, pay the fee, and that's it. This is much easier than applying for a visa, which often includes stacks of paperwork and also months of waiting. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had to deal with that. Now, a lot of people seem to think that this ETIAS rule is already in place, but again, that rumor is also false. While they've had plans to release it many times now, as of October 2024, according to the official ETIAS website, they are still not accepting applications. In fact, what they're saying now is they're hoping to roll it out in the first half of 2025. Though, to be very honest with you, they have pushed it back so many times, I wouldn't really be surprised if they push it again. But honestly, this is nothing to stress about because if this regulation does come into effect in advance of your trip, you are definitely going to hear about it on the news, through your airline, so you will have enough time to register for the authorization in advance. So in summary, North Americans are not going to be required to get a visa for all of Europe to enter. What they will need once the system launches is just a digital travel authorization that you apply for online, only takes a few minutes, and only costs €7. So don't fall for those clickbait headlines that say you now need a visa, because that is not accurate. Now let's move on to rumor number two, which is that there will no longer be a 100 milliliter liquid limit at European airports. This is once again false. In fact, as of September 2024, the opposite is true. So basically, this rumor came from the fact that a lot of European airports are starting to implement these new fancy scanners that don't require you to take your liquids and electronics out of your bag. Some airports have even talked about this as kind of the first step to eliminating some of those really strict restrictions that you have on carrying liquids and gels on planes. Unfortunately, the rollout of these machines was very inconsistent across airports and even within airports themselves. There was a period of time when I was going to certain airports and only one terminal had these fancy scanners. Or even more ridiculous, one time I went to an airport where one of the security lines had the fancy machine and the other one didn't. So there were different rules depending on which lineup you joined. But as of September 2024, all airports across the EU are bringing back those 100 milliliter liquid restrictions, even if you're at an airport that has those fancy scanners. So just keep that in mind. If you've never encountered these fancy scanners, then you won't need to change a thing. But if you've gotten used to the new system, well, they're bringing back the old one. Now let's move on to rumor number three, which is that Germany is now enforcing passport checks on all their borders, including with Schengen area countries. And yes, this one actually is true. According to this press release that was shared on the official website of the German Federal Ministry of the Interior and Community, as of Monday, September 16, 2024, checks at all of Germany's land borders will be temporarily reintroduced. Now, the reason this is surprising is because Germany, as you know, is part of the Schengen area, which is essentially a group of countries, including most EU countries, who have mutually agreed to allow for free movement within their borders, which means when you're going from one Schengen area country to the next, there isn't typically passport checks. So this is why conventionally, yes, you get your passport checked when you enter a Schengen area country, but once you're within the Schengen area, like if you're going from the Netherlands to Belgium, for instance, you don't actually need to get your passport checked again. But yes, if you are planning on going to Germany within the next few months, maybe for Christmas markets or something, it is worth noting that they are conducting passport checks now, even with their bordering countries that are all Schengen area countries. According to their press release, border checks will not be carried out everywhere along all borders, but rather in a targeted way to combat cross-border crime and further limit irregular migration. So this isn't a consistent measure that you can expect every time you cross the border, but nonetheless, it's important that you always bring your passport and ID with you, especially for day trips. I mean, this was probably something you should have done in the past anyway, but just keep in mind it's now more important than ever because you don't want to get caught at a passport check without your passport. Now, finally, on to rumor number 4, which is that you will no longer be getting passport stamps when you enter the Schengen area. And unfortunately, this is true. As of November 10th, 2024, the EU is going to be rolling out a new entry/exit system that they have been working on for years. And this essentially will introduce digital checks that sync information across all the systems among the EU member countries, which essentially makes those old school stamps obsolete. And this has been confirmed through an official speech by the European Commissioner of Home Affairs, Eva Johansson. You can read the full transcript of the speech on the official EU website here, where she says, "Carriers, operators, train stations, airports, everyone is getting ready for the big day. So the central system and every single border crossing point will all be online. And when that happens, it will be goodbye to passport stamping, hello to digital checks." Again, this system has been in the works for years, so it's not really a surprise that it's coming into force now, but it's still quite sad if you're someone like me who loves passport stamps, used to love collecting them. Unfortunately, that will no longer be a thing in the Schengen area. That said, this isn't a Europe-wide thing. There are still many countries in Europe that are not part of the Schengen area and are likely to continue doing stamps, so not all hope is lost. You can learn more about this new automated entry-exit system on the official EU website here. All right, thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if there's any more rumors you want clarity on, and be sure to like and subscribe for more travel videos just like this one. I'll see you next time. Bye.